Bill George, 7 Lessons for Leading in Crisis. In the ever-changing world of business, crises are inevitable. In his book, 7 Lessons for Leading in Crisis, Bill George equips readers with the tools and insights needed to lead through such hardships successfully. This enlightening summary explores the pivotal role of exceptional leadership in navigating and overcoming crisis situations, as experienced by renowned CEOs, from Warren Buffett to Jim Burke. Uncover the secret to accepting reality, asking for help at the right time, and getting to the root cause of problems as you pave your path to becoming a resilient and decisive leader.
Leadership in times of crisis. Effective leadership during a crisis is not a skill you can learn in an MBA program. Crises have the power to make or break executives, highlighting their true leadership potential. While mistakes are inevitable, weathering the storm and keeping your company afloat can provide invaluable lessons for future emergencies. Warren Buffett's leadership in a crisis. In the face of criminal prosecution for submitting false bids to the U.S. Treasury, Salomon Brothers was at risk of bankruptcy. Warren Buffett, the major shareholder, took control of the company and demanded full transparency, even if it meant prosecution. This prevented a disastrous chain of events, and Salomon Brothers survived. The lesson learned is that denial is a bigger career killer than incompetence. Leaders must accept reality and acknowledge their role in contributing to the crisis, or minor issues can inflate into major ones. A crisis provides a unique opportunity to create transformative change in an organization and put a leader's reputation to the test. Leading through crisis. In times of crisis, CEOs shouldn't shoulder the burden alone. Fostering a support system, relying on trusted colleagues, and remaining open and available are key to successful leadership. CEOs often feel an immense pressure to bear the weight of their company's problems on their own. However, this approach is far from effective during times of crisis. One prime example is the case of Morgan Stanley CEO Philip Purcell, who sequestered himself during a period of great turmoil. He neglected to turn to his colleagues for support and failed to provide the leadership his company needed. As a result, former executives united to remove him from his position. During crises, CEOs must be willing to rely on their support systems. Trusted colleagues, friends, family, and even mentors are all valuable resources. By building a strong support team in advance, CEOs can avoid retreating into themselves and demonstrate effective leadership. By remaining open and available, CEOs can motivate their teams to rally and develop solutions to problems. In short, effective leadership during a crisis requires humility and a willingness to rely on others. Effective crisis management. In 1982, Tylenol capsules were tampered with, resulting in 3 deaths from cyanide poisoning. Johnson & Johnson CEO, Jim Burke, promptly recalled all Tylenol. The company introduced tamper-evident packaging and soon resumed selling Tylenol. However, in 1986, another person died from poisoned Tylenol capsules. Again, Burke pulled all Tylenol from the shelves and reintroduced it with a tamper-proof pill design. During a press conference, Burke was questioned about the death, and he admitted he wished they had implemented the solution 4 years ago. Corporate leaders often treat symptoms as problems, but the root cause remains, leading to repeated crises. To confront the most serious risks, leaders must bravely confront their fears and identify the root cause of the problem. This process is difficult yet crucial, even if the findings have unnerving implications. To deal with a crisis, leaders must gather all the facts with no sugarcoating, adopt a trust but verify approach and be prepared to take firm action. Crisis management lessons. Never underestimate a crisis and its possible outcome till it is truly over. It is crucial to respond with fundamental changes if the situation demands it. Experience during the 2008 to 2009 economic crisis has taught us that it is easy to overlook the early signs, and we must be alert to any minor losses or associated risks and take corrective actions immediately. Leaders must keep a close eye on their business subparts, analyze their risks and take prompt action for successful crisis management. Crisis, danger or opportunity. The Chinese character for crisis has always indicated danger and opportunity. During a crisis, visionary CEOs spot opportunities to transform their organizations completely. Teach for America, TFA, founded in 1989, began facing trouble in 1995, with a $2.75 million deficit, sponsors fleeing, and teacher applications dropping. Wendy Kopp, the CEO, analyzed the organization and reduced the payroll cost by 40%, cut 2 new initiatives, and developed a 5-year plan. These changes turned the organization around, with 10 times more teachers by 2008, and 22,000 alumni, 60% of whom continued in education. Crisis presents an opportunity for transformation. Mattel's toy recall crisis. Mattel faced a toy recall crisis in 2007 when their Chinese suppliers supplied millions of toys with lead paint exceeding safety standards. CEO Robert Eckert initially blamed the Chinese manufacturer, but later issued a public apology. The crisis had severe repercussions for Mattel's reputation and raised questions about who was responsible for the crisis. In the face of a crisis, it is essential to prioritize transparency and honesty, rather than shifting blame. This way, whistleblowers become irrelevant, and your company can get ahead of the problem before it gets worse. Crisis as opportunity. Don't let a crisis go to waste. Transform your business by following these 7 steps: rethink industry strategy, shed weaknesses, reshape industry, make investments, keep people focused, create industry leadership, and develop execution plans. It's time to embrace change and come out stronger than ever. Leading through crisis. When Franklin D. Roosevelt became the U.S. president during the Great Depression in 1933, the situation was dire. 1 out of 4 people was unemployed, banks had shut down in 34 states, and business investments had dropped by 90%. With his famous, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself" line, he rallied Americans and led them out of the Depression. The lesson? A crisis offers an opportunity for leaders to rise and define themselves. When faced with a crisis, stick to your values, be bold, and don't lose focus. After all, it's during these moments that we learn who we truly are.
Crises can be a defining moment for leaders, and it is crucial to be prepared and well-equipped to face challenges head-on. 7 lessons for leading in crisis have shown that successful CEOs like Warren Buffett, Jim Burke, and Wendy Kopp have navigated turbulent waters by embracing reality, seeking help, and addressing the root causes of problems. Be bold, transparent, and ready to seize opportunities amid crisis situations to evolve as a fortified leader in your organization. Remember, your response to adversity reflects your true leadership skills and capabilities.